name is Optimus Prime. We are autonomous robotic organisms from the planet Cybertron.
The leader of the Autobots, Optimus Prime, has been in the limelight right from the first time a piece of Transformers media was released to the public. As he fights against the Decepticon leader, Megatron, Optimus Prime displays a wide range of powers and manages to keep his opponents on their toes by always pulling out a new trick from the back of his mind, or helmet. While we all know about his physical prowess and leadership skills, today we'll look at 12 of his hidden powers and tell you all about them. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Advanced Regeneration. Besides having an exceptionally durable body, Optimus Prime can bounce back from any fatal attack in no time. While most Transformers succumb to these attacks, Optimus Prime's connection to the Allspark enabled him to repair and regenerate any malfunctioning body parts. In addition to the Allspark artifact, Optimus Prime had the Matrix of Leadership in his arsenal to support his regeneration. Telepathy and Empathy. While we have already explored the Matrix of Leadership's role in Optimus Prime's regeneration, this artifact had a lot more to offer. For instance, Optimus Prime could establish telepathic relations with its help, and then communicate with other beings without even verbalizing his thoughts. On top of establishing a telepathic connection, the Matrix further enhanced Optimus Prime's empathy, and he could not only read others' thoughts, but also understand their situations, as if he were in their shoes.
Do not fear. I shall tow your...
Time travel. In some story arcs, Optimus Prime showcased the ability to travel through time, to de-escalate conflicts, or set things in store. While this was not one of his most widely used powers, he could time travel with the help of devices, such as a time machine. He once even demonstrated this ability when he used Autobot Wheeljack's invention to travel through time. Energy manipulation. One of Optimus Prime's most striking powers is his energy manipulation, as he's capable of channeling pure energy through his body to build an impact before delivering a blow. He especially uses this ability while facing strikingly powerful opponents, as these energy attacks can not only subdue them, but also help Optimus Prime defend himself from any incoming energy-based assault. Besides channeling energy through his body, Optimus Prime can also extend the charge to his weapons, and have an array of energy-powered gadgets at his disposal.
Are you Samuel James Witwicky, descendant of Archibald Witwicky?
Universal language comprehension. Among other things, Optimus Prime was multilingual, and he could understand and comprehend any language in the world and even the universe at large. Not only could he understand a language that he may have never been exposed to before, but he could also instantly pick up on any new languages and master them. Enhanced combat strategy. It is an established fact that Optimus Prime has limitless physical strength, but not many people know that he's much more than a brute force, and that he also has a knack for designing the best combat strategies. His strategic thinking skills are unparalleled, and he could defeat the strongest of enemies by figuring out their weaknesses. In one such instance, Optimus Prime figured out the weaknesses in the Decepticon stronghold, and then defeated them by weaponizing their flaw. In addition to this, he was well trained in melee combat, among other martial art forms. This was strategically done because the Transformers franchise was first released in Japan, where audiences were known to enjoy characters that could perform traditional combat forms. Control over machines. Optimus Prime's multilingualism extended beyond speaking universal languages to communicate with sentient beings. He could also communicate with machines, and essentially exert control over them by talking to them on a fundamental level. This ability was not restricted to machines that shared Cybertronian origins with him, and Optimus could even influence machines that did not share the same background. By exerting such power and influence, Optimus could essentially turn all machinery to work in his favor, and command an entire army if he wished to. Resurrection. To continue down the same path as his advanced regeneration, Optimus Prime also had the power to return to life in a reanimated form in the face of death. He gained this ability due to his connection to the Allspark, an ancient Cybertronian artifact that was capable of breathing life into lifeless pieces of technology. The Allspark had originally created 13 primes, besides turning technology into sentient Cybertronians. Following this train of thought, the Allspark could very well bring Optimus Prime back to life, considering the fact that it created him, with the help of the planet god Primus's spark in the first place. In addition to this, the Matrix of Leadership could also be used to reactivate a fallen Transformer spark in the event that they had died. While this was not the intent of the tool, several Cybertronians had used this to their advantage, and it was also used to resurrect Optimus Prime and Sentinel Prime once.
I am Optimus Prime, and this message is to my creators.
Aerial Mastery. As seen in Transformers Age of Extinction, Optimus Prime had the power of flight, and he could even fly in extreme temperatures in space. Often he used this ability to float over battlefields and offer some constructive advice to his fellow Autobots on the ground. He often used this to his advantage, to fly from one opponent to another amid a tense face-off. One would assume that a powerful robot like Optimus Prime would have no use for flight abilities, but he was known to be quite an overachiever, and he had mastered this ability in no time. While the Transformers shows don't include this power, the computer-animated Transformers Prime series also depicts Optimus Prime as a flying robot, who gains this ability after the Forge of Solace rebuilds his body after a fatal incident. Soon enough, Optimus Prime emerged as an airborne bot and took Megatron by surprise, which led to a super cool fight sequence between the two. Optic energy emission. Among other things, Optimus Prime's eyes were capable of emitting optic energy in the form of solid beams of yellow light. These optic energy rays held insane concentrations of power, even if they were fired from a distance, and he had excellent vision and foresight that helped him fire these attacks. However, Optimus saved this ability for those rare occasions where he could make the attack worthwhile, and one of these special occasions was when Megatron and Optimus battled each other on a cliffside. In this fight, Optimus first punched Megatron several times until he fell off the cliff, and then he delivered the final blow by picking him up and blasting the optic lasers directly in his face. Cybertronian blade projection. Optimus Prime also has the ability to conjure up a laser axe from within his hand, in an ability known as the Cybertronian blade projection. This ability was one of the marvels of Cybertronian technology, and it was inspired by the ancient warrior traditions that involved the use of such axes. This laser axe enabled Optimus Prime to effortlessly switch from hurling attacks from a long distance to face his opponent in close quarters. The axe projects light and energy, which is said to represent Optimus's nobleness and warrior spirit. The axe's light is also seen as a metaphor for Optimus' role as a protector of the masses, as he cuts through the evilness of his opponents with the axe. While he had used this axe on numerous occasions, one of the most iconic moments featuring this weapon took place in the second episode of the original Transformers series. In this episode, Optimus and Megatron face each other in a fierce battle, wherein Optimus eventually retracts his hand and replaces it with his glowy axe. One could almost sense the surge of energy flowing through the axe, and it has become such an iconic tool that Hasbro has included it in many of its Optimus Prime toy designs.
What is this?
Ultimate Unity Protocol. While Optimus Prime has showcased several super modes over the course of the Transformers movies, comics, and books, the creator of the 2002 Transformers Armada gave him an additional ability. In this television series, Optimus Prime was capable of gelling himself together with two other Autobots to form a bigger, singular robot that could go into an unparalleled super mode frenzy. This process was known as the Ultimate Unity Protocol, and Optimus Prime's fusion with other bots resulted in them gaining enhanced power, speed, and resilience. Moreover, he gained access to the unique abilities of the other two robots involved, thereby helping him expand his abilities into a bigger pool of powers. In some cases, Optimus Prime combined with his own trailer to gain a bigger form, and then summoned a few Autobots to borrow their abilities. He typically called for Sparkplug's help to get some additional firepower, while Jetfire assumed the form of Optimus Prime's new legs, so that Prime could turn into an airborne bot known as Jet Optimus. To add the final touch, Overload would arrive at the scene and attach itself to Prime's shoulders to give him bigger cannons, and this configuration was labeled as the Jet Convoy, or the Magna Jet Convoy, in the show's Japanese version. Marvelous verdict. To wrap things up, Optimus Prime was bestowed with all sorts of fascinating powers, and he indeed showed appreciation for all of them. From firing his optic blasts on rare occasions to using his flight or telepathic abilities in dire situations, this Autobot has showcased his capabilities in wielding just about every power available to him. This was our curation of his top 12 hidden powers, but tell us your favorite ones in the comments. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone!